Rupert Sheldrake is a crackpot who accuses scientists of being dogmatic for not taking anecdotal claims about Woo seriously.
I've been fascinated with parapsychology for most of my adult life because if anything about it is true, then it would cause us to reflect on what our perceptions of reality is. What are your views on that?
Well, I think it's an an empirical question, really. Do these phenomena exist? The evidence suggests that things like telepathy and so on really do. I take seriously people's experience. Science is meant to be empirical. That means it's based on experience. And if you look at experience, you find that the majority of the population claim to have had telepathic experiences.
I haven't seen that survey, but let's assume that what Sheldrake is saying is true. This would be a very poor demonstration of telepathic phenomena. This would only demonstrate that there are experiences that people believe to be the result of telepathy. To actually empirically demonstrate telepathy, you would have to set up experiments that control for other possible explanations. Anecdotes about weird experiences, even a large number of such anecdotes, isn't very convincing, and I don't see why I should find it convincing.
Many people have had precognitive dreams, they've dreamt about things that later happen. Many people have had extraordinary coincidences.
And why would the best explanation for those things be telepathy or ESP?
There are millions of claims. So I think science should start from the assumption that reasonable, normal people whose testimony would be trusted in a court of law, normal, sane, balanced citizens, are probably telling the truth.
Saying that scientists should assume that people who present these anecdotes are probably telling the truth implies that what scientists actually assume is that most of these folks are lying. I doubt this is the case. The problem with anecdotes is that some of them will be lies, some of them will be misperceptions, and even when it comes to the ones that are accurate accounts of what happened, psychic or paranormal phenomena are just not the most probable explanation.
And now, some of my colleagues take the opposite view. They say all these people are completely wrong and deluded and stupid and deceived by these experiences because they don't exist.
One could place explanations for these anecdotes into two categories. Paranormal explanations like ESP, telepathy, clairvoyance, etc. And let's call the other category normal explanations like coincidences, misperceptions, hoaxes, etc. Even if paranormal phenomena exist, clear demonstrations of their existence have been much more elusive than clear demonstrations of normal phenomena. We see normal phenomena all the time. We see coincidences, even extremely unlikely ones, all the time. We see hoaxes all the time. We see misperceptions all the time. Even if it is the case that telepathy or ESP are real, the difficulty we have had in finding confirmed examples make it entirely reasonable to infer that they are probably far more rare than normal phenomena, and that normal explanations are therefore far more likely to be accurate ones.
So then you say, well, how do you know they don't exist? And they say, well, they're just impossible.
I doubt that this is the most sophisticated answer he's gotten from scientists.
Now, that's a dogmatic position, all too common among some more limited kinds of scientists.
If someone claims that they've seen something occur which apparently defies one or more of the laws of physics, scientists will not reject this out of hand. They will not reject it dogmatically. They will set a very high bar for demonstrating such a claim, but every now and then what we believe to be a law of physics turns out not to be a law at all. The reason they reject Sheldrake's Woo is because despite very sincere attempts to find strong evidence of the phenomena he believes in, no such evidence has been found.
And I think that we need to look at these things experimentally. The scientific method is a method of inquiry. It's not a system of dogmas.
Scientists have looked at them experimentally. In fact, they are still looking at them. The AWARE studies, for example, are looking very closely and sincerely at purported out-of-body experiences.
I think that the social groups have fields. There's a field of each social group. Flocks of birds, when they all turn at the same time, I think are part of a field. Schools of fish, when they change direction.
When you say a field, you mean an analogy like to a magnetic field?
Yes. In this case, it's what I would call a morphic field, a field of form or shape or organization.
I don't know if flocks of birds really need any such field, but schools of fish definitely do not. Fish have organs called lateral lines that sense changes in barometric pressure. This allows them to sense and quickly respond to changes in their school's direction. Attempts have been made to find auras and fields like this around humans, but none have been successfully demonstrated to exist. If scientists dogmatically believed that no such thing could exist, they wouldn't have even bothered to run these experiments. And thanks again to everybody who helps me out on Patreon. That's much appreciated.